optimism underlies the new generation to research and innovate in technology. The University of Heroes, ITS. ITS, one of the best science and technology universities in Indonesia, which was founded by Dr. Angga in 1957. Every step, ITS focuses in advancing education, research, management, and community service. As an incorporated public university, ITS has been able to manage autonomously the policy of academics, organizations, finance, students' affairs, human resources, facilities, operational, and infrastructure.
In the spirit of Indonesian heroes, during the Battle of November 1945, ITS always makes efforts to be the best in education, research, and community services, especially in the fields of industry and maritime. ITS also actively contributes to the nation development, and in the future, ITS become entrepreneurial university with world-class reputation.
Many achievements, both national and international achievements, prove that ITS keeps growing and gives the best contribution to the nation of Indonesia. ITS is a place for new hopes to grow. An ideal environment for the new generation to flourish in 3 strategic locations within the industrial city of Surabaya. As a smart eco-campus, ITS maintains harmony between technological advances and the sustainability of the surrounding ecosystem. ITS has 7 faculties with prospective scientific fields, including MCs, vocation, creatives, Martech, electrics, plan. ITS is a space for the new generation who are hungry for knowledge because it provides a wide range of references in both physical and digital form. ITS makes it easier for the new generation to access information by providing flexible classes. Moving forward in facing future challenges by providing the best facilities for the new generation's activities. The facilities support both spiritual and physical needs. Provides research facilities in the ITS Science Technopark, including ICT and robotics, automotive, maritime, and creative industries. Therefore, the excellent generations from ITS will emerge and make history. ITS is a space for the new generation to express themselves. ITS is a place where the new generation learns new things and finds their purpose. ITS has become a place where the new generation will be born.
ITS is a campus of science and technology, which focuses on the research and innovation, presenting technology for prosperity.
With a spirit of heroism, ITS brings the future before us. ITS, the University of Heroes.
Sepuluh Nopember, Surabaya, as one of Indonesia's leading universities for study and research, is built above 180-hectare land, currently accommodating 18,484 active students, 1,094 lecturers, and managed by 1,561 staff members. Program Smart Eco Campus at 2011, ITS is fully equipped with integrated technology. Students can learn and interact through Smart Class program by simply log in at the designated time for an online class session. Massive open online courses, MOOCs, are free online courses available for anyone to enroll. All accessed by smart cards, application, web and mobile site. Smart is also implemented by building an eco-farm to obtain environmental-based lifestyle. ITS is providing iCar, an electric self-driving car, with 20 stopping points utilized by iCar app. Supply with best facilities, students can live comfortably inside ITS. From excellent student dormitories, canteen and cafeteria at various places, to shop daily needs, Anarul Ilmi Mosque, accessible toilets for disabled people in every area, various sports facilities, indoor and outdoor fields, medical center as health service unit, language and culture center to boost English competence, ITS library, and several co-working spaces as a learning resource center. ITS provides more than 184 laboratories spread across 7 faculties. Among them are the Robotics Laboratory, that has pioneered research, development and education, and already successfully winning national, regional and international robot contests. Robotics team built Robot Medical Assistant, RAISA, to reduce the workload of medical personnel and minimize the exposure of viruses. The Energy and Environmental Laboratory was the main task to support ITS main research and provide consulting, analysis and training services. Material and Energy Laboratory, a equipped with the latest machinery to help students learning to determine product and material quality control. Architecture Laboratory provide places for students to design, produce, and refine their architectural artistic creations. Geomatics Laboratory is utilized for mapping survey to support the geospatial information industry and natural resources management. ITS Techno-Science as a place for ITS to contribute to the industry by collaborative learning to support technological innovation and commercialization, business creation and employment development, economic development, which all incorporated in Science Techno Park. High technology in line with natural environment makes ITS beautiful and comfortable, important to create a supportive learning atmosphere for the students.
We are live in 3, 2, and 1. Good morning and afternoon, ladies and gentlemen. Thank you for joining our Zoom meeting. And before we start our program today, we would like to ask for changing your Zoom ID into the university abbreviation _ your name. Now, let's enjoy the video of webinar protocols.
Distinguished guests, ladies and gentlemen, before we start commence the program, and here are the following webinar protocol. For each participant ID, please use your real name following with your origin of institution. All of participants are expected to mute the audio and only unmute the video during the event. We cordially invite you to take your own firm and comfort seat in your own room, and please avoid the backlight. Make sure that you have a good and stable internet connection. If you have an earphone or headset, we recommend you to use it so that your voice can clearly and loudly to be heard. During the Q&A discussion session, all participants, please use the chat box to deliver the questions. Thank you for your cooperation and consideration.
Thank you very much. In addition, we kindly ask all participants to fill in the online attendance, and the link could be found in the chat room. Ladies and gentlemen, Assalamualaikum warahmatullahi wabarakatuh. A very good afternoon and good morning to all of you, and I would like to welcome you all to the ATU-Net International Staff Week 2021, Day 2. On this beautiful Tuesday, August the 3rd, 2021. I do wish everyone is blessed with health, safety, and energy to stay active. The ATU-Net International Staff Week 2021, Day 2 is hosted by Institut Teknologi Sepuluh Nopember, ITS Surabaya. Today, bringing the theme, establishing and sustaining partnerships, participants of this Staff Week will have the opportunity to hear from our keynote speaker about how to develop a powerful negotiation, and not forget to mention that we will have an amazing workshop along with the presentation sessions. Ladies and gentlemen, before we start, please allow me to mention our honorable guests, representatives from UTM, UTB, and UMT, as the co-organizer of this staff week. Also, Professor Muhammad Azari, our Rector of ITS. May I say hi to Prof. Azari? Okay, maybe he's going to join us very soon. Professor Ketut Buda Artana, our keynote speaker today. I would like to also say hi to Prof. Ketut Buda Artana. Hello, Prof. How are you?
Just fine. Thank you anyway for inviting me.
It's really great to have you here. Thank you, Prof. And also, I'd like to say hi to Associate Professor Maria Anityasari, our workshop speaker and also Director of Global Engagement. Hello,
Hello,
Ibu
Miss
Maria.
Yani. Nice to meet you. Hello, all respected colleagues. Very happy to meet you today. Thank you.
It's great to have you here today, Ibu. So also our warm welcome and hello to all participants and presenters today. In this beautiful day, we are going to have the following agenda. The first is the welcoming address by our rector. The second is the keynote session entitled Development of Powerful Negotiation. The third is workshop about establishing and sustaining leadership. And then the presentation session. For the first agenda, I'd like to seek for Prof. Azari. Do we have Prof. Azari in this meeting already? Okay, so in that case, we will switch the welcoming speech after the keynote speaker. Or please let me reconfirm for another minute. So let's enjoy a video of ITS for a moment. Let us enjoy the video of ITS profile.
Hai, kamu penasaran nggak sih gimana kampus perjuangan kita tercinta?
Ayo, pakai VR kamu.
Halo semuanya, selamat datang di kampus perjuangan kita tercinta, Institut Teknologi Sepuluh Nopember. Jadi, di kampus perjuangan ini, kalian akan berproses menjadi insan yang dapat mengembangkan inovasi, terutama yang menunjang industri dan kelautan berbasis teknologi informasi dan komunikasi tentunya.
Ayo semuanya, ikut kami yuk.
Gimana? Sejuk kan udaranya? Tahu nggak sih, kalau kampus perjuangan kita itu terkenal dengan ITS Smart Eco Campus loh. Kita di sini percaya bahwa perkembangan teknologi dapat berjalan selaras dengan alam dalam penerapan gaya hidup berwawasan lingkungan.
Nah, kita tiba di gedung rektorat nih teman-teman. Di rektorat ini, kalian bisa bertemu dengan orang-orang penting ITS seperti rektor dan...
Hello, ladies and gentlemen. I'd like to welcome our rector, Professor Muhammad Azari, who have joined our meeting today. Hello, Prof. Azari.
Hello, good afternoon.
Good afternoon. How are you, Prof?
Very well, thank you here. How are you?
We are all great, so we are very happy to have you here. So for the first agenda, Prof. Azari, I'd like to pass the microphone to you for the welcoming remark.
Okay, thank you. So sorry because we have wrong schedule just now. Okay, so good afternoon, ladies and gentlemen. First of all, I would like to give a warm greeting to our respected guests today. The first one is leaders or representative from University Teknologi Malaysia, University Malaysia Terengganu, and University Teknologi Brunei as our co-host. Thank you very much. Welcome to, I think this is the second day of ATU-Net International Staff Weeks. I'm very delighted to welcome you all to this beautiful day. Even
recording in progress.
Our meeting in online, so we feel a beautiful day in our location, of course. Yeah? And then starting in 2020, ITS, Institut Teknologi Sepuluh Nopember, has become an active member of international consortium, namely Asia Technological University Network, or ATU-Net. So thank you very much. It is an honor for us to be, we are in this technological university network in Asia. So we know that this network consists of 45 universities in 15 countries. So it is very honest for ITS joining in this group, in this network. ATU-Net is a large community for universities in Asia to work together in many areas such as mobility for students, academic, and also non-academic staff, and also research program as well as capacity building for institutions. So, pandemic, we are facing difficulty and challenging situation when talking about mobility. However, it is human nature to always find breakthrough and innovation. To keep the collaboration rolling, we co-organize a virtual program that combine inbound and outbound staff mobility. ATU-Net International Staff is one of innovative responses to this challenge. Yeah, as we know that this pandemic, COVID-19, become still rising in many countries, but fortunately in Indonesia, it's getting slowed down, and we hope getting better for the next day. So, ladies and gentlemen, for a university who understand that non-academic staff play an important role to keep the administration matters to go smooth, ITS supports the non-academic staff through enrichment programs, such as participating in mobility and international staff weeks, like our event today. Since exactly in 2013, ITS created a series of enrichment programs especially for non-academic staff. One of them is the outbound staff mobility. We have already sent staff to Asian countries that the aim is to give ITS non-academic staff an international exposure and to develop their skills, international skills. So every year, Bu Maria Dr. Maria, which is the PIC for International Engagement of ITS. Yeah, thank you, Bu Maria. That every year ITS is consistently sending our non-academic staff, such as finance staff, librarians, lab technicians, and even security staff for internship and excursion to the partner university in Thailand, in Malaysia, Singapore, even to UK, Holland, and Turkey. So international exposure to improve their skill. So again, the staff mobility programs becomes ITS strategic, that it acknowledges that the importance of non-academic staff existence as in 2017. ITS also started inbound staff mobility program. So we also receive academic staff from our partners from in our net here to come to ITS in Surabaya, Indonesia. So ATU-Net International Staff Week in the second days now. This consists of keynote speakers, workshop, and conference. And also today we will listen to an insightful keynote speech entitled The Development of Powerful Negotiation. So this is a very interesting topic that probably all of us would like to listen and try in our daily life in our office. So within the conference, the presenter will share their experience related to their home, university, and the program for international partnership. So I hope that in the next year, ITS would welcome you all in Surabaya, offline or physically. Come to our campus, come to our city in Surabaya, so that we can meet in person and continue the conversation. So happy conference, happy sharing knowledge. We hope that you have a very enjoyable, fruitful, and productive discussion. Thank you very much.
For the very inspiring remark, and also for the Prof. Ladies and gentlemen, before we go to the next agenda, we would like to invite you all to the virtual group photo to capture the moment. So please can we share your, and also keep smiling during the group photo session, because we don't know where you are in which page. So I hope you're ready. Page 1 in 5, 4, 3, 2, and 1. The next page in 5, 4, 3, 2, and 1. I think we have one more page, so be ready. In 5, 4, 3, 2, and 1. Perfect. Thank you, ladies and gentlemen.
Thank you very much.
Ladies and gentlemen, not only live from this Zoom platform, this program is also live in ITS YouTube, as well as the Facebook and YouTube of UTM, UTB, and UMT. So please can you find the link in the chat room to be shared to your academic society. Now we have come to the next session. I would like to introduce our moderator today, Dr. Astria Nur Irfansyah. We call him Pak Irfan. So Pak Irfan is an assistant professor in electrical engineering department of ITS Surabaya. He graduated from the University of New South Wales, Australia, for both his master's degree and also doctoral degree. He is also our Senior Manager of International Partnership at ITS Global Engagement Directorate. Without further ado, let's welcome Pak Irfan.
Thank you very much, Yani. Assalamualaikum warahmatullahi wabarakatuh.
Waalaikumsalam.
Good afternoon, everyone, and welcome to the keynote session of our second day of the International Staff Week ATU-Net. And thank you, everyone, for joining. We really appreciate your participation in this program. The topic for today is establishing and sustaining partnerships. My name is Irfan. I'm from ITS, and I will become the moderator for this session. We will soon have the keynote speech that will be delivered by Professor Dr. Insinyur Ketut Buda. He will be talking about development of powerful negotiation. But before we start, I will read his short biography. Professor Ketut Buda is professor at the Department of Marine Engineering, ITS. Between 2014 and 2019, he was Vice Rector for Innovation, Cooperation, Alumni, and International Relations, ITS. Since 2020, he is Chairperson of Commission 2 at the Academic Senate of ITS, in charge of organization and resources. Professor Ketut Buda received his doctorate from Kobe University of Mercantile Marine, Japan in 2003, master's degree from University of Newcastle upon Tyne, UK in 1997, and bachelor's degree from ITS in 1994. His research interest is marine systems engineering, reliability engineering, safety of marine systems, and risk assessment for marine systems. Now, let us welcome Professor Ketut Buda. Hello, Prof. Good afternoon, Professor.
Good afternoon,
How are you?
Good afternoon.
Thank you for being here today. So, Professor, you may start your speech. You have 20 minutes for the presentation, and we will then continue with questions and answers for 15 minutes. So the stage is yours, Professor.
Thank you, Pak Irfan. Good afternoon, everybody. Honorable Rector of ITS, Professor Asari. Good afternoon, Pak. Sehat selalu. Colleagues from UTM, from University Malaysia, Terengganu, from University Teknologi Brunei, as well as representative from other university. I noticed here that some colleague of ITS, as well from TELU, from UNER, from Universitas Muhammadiyah also attended this very valuable discussion. As been mentioned by Pak Irfan, my background is marine engineering, nothing to do with the public communication, nothing to do with the things that related to negotiation. So I will try my best to share my view, my opinion, based on my experience, engaged in the cooperation of ITS, managing the international relationship as well. So hopefully that this will, provide you with some insight how to manage partnership through a constructive negotiation. I don't want to teach you, so I would like to invite any comment, any discussion from you all to enrich our discussion today. Allow me to share my slide. Can everybody see my slide?
Yes, we can.
Okay, then, thank you. Ladies and gentlemen, I think the reason we are, gathering in this virtual discussion through the Asian Technical University Network is try to build or even to, strengthen the cooperation, the partnership between us. So there are a lot of reasons why university need to have partnership with others. But basically, in my opinion, the main reason of building partnership between universities is to make efficient use of resources. we need to have a partnership because we want to share our resources, including human resources, the infrastructure, could be financial resources, the facility like laboratories, hardware, brainware, service, and others. In other side, we also want to share, to have partnership because we want to share responsibility, not only resources. Because I think all universities have the same objective. The same main objective is to, deliver capable and potential graduate so they can work in industry. So in that sense, I think sharing responsibility, sharing services, resources according to the competence and capability of each university is one of the reasons why we need to have partnership. And then in some cases, we need to share the outcome as well as the profit. But actually, I don't quite agree with the last one, the sharing profit, because in some university in Indonesia, we know that university is non-profit organization, so we don't have any objective to get profit from the academic service, but we want to utilize all revenue for the benefit of the academic itself. And then the common areas in which university can have partnership of one to another is we understood that in many sectors we can have partnership. Like we need to have partnership in academic programs. For example, joint degrees, double degrees, sandwich program, internship, and also other academic collaborative programs. And then, as I've been also mentioned in the previous slide, that we want to share our laboratories. So students of ITS can use the facility or the laboratory facilities in UTM, for example, in Institut Teknologi Brunei, for example. And then agreement can be built for those purposes. And then we also want to have partnership because we want to send professors. We receive professors from UTM, we receive professors from UTB, from other domestic university, for example, to perform the research academic program and any other purposes. We also want to send our students through the student exchange program, internship. And then we also allow our students to do research in foreign university, in partner university, for a couple months, for example, for the final project, for their thesis or dissertation and others. And then we also want to have partnership because we want to do joint activities, joint seminar, joint workshop, and so on. And those programs can be put on the table, can be realized if we have communication with partner university, or in other terms, we need to have so-called negotiation to make the program can be run as expected. Let's see what is negotiation, what the negotiation is. I want to take one, expression from one sources that negotiation is the dialogue or effort that is supposed to create an agreement or resolve a disagreement. So it's very, very, very simple. We need negotiation because we want to build cooperation or partnership. We need negotiation because we have interest. One university have a certain interest. Other university could have a different interest. So the need to have negotiation is to make those interests at the same platform, and then we finally achieve an agreement. So that's why negotiators in this context is the academic staff, the professors, including the staff of the international office, also play very important role in establishing good partnership between universities. In a very simple process, the negotiation will include the need of us, the negotiators, to analyze the issues that we want to negotiate. And then after we understanding the context, then we need to propose exchanges view, exchanges document, exchanges perspective on the subject of cooperation. And finally, through discussion and negotiation, we want to reach some agreements in some project. And then after agreement is reached, then we need to implement those agreements. But sometimes we forget to, after implementing the program, we need to evaluate every program that been put in the real activity. So this cyclus is a common cyclus, but honestly speaking, the partnership through negotiation is not that simple, because we know that every negotiation needs preparation. We need to really understand the contents or the context of cooperation that we want to have with other universities through discussion and negotiation. Apart from the understanding the context, we need to understand the strategic positioning of each university. In the next slide, I will try to share you one tools that we could use to better understand the strategic positioning of each university involved in negotiation. So basically, it is impossible for us to have a good agreement if we don't understand the strategic positioning of our partner university. So that's one of the requirement, the basic requirement before we have negotiation. And then for those universities who are for the first time, creating cooperation, then we need to build relationship through exchanging emails and then, video conference, and then exchanging information and document mentioning about the capacities, the position of each universities. Because through negotiation, we need to promote our university to be able to be, to promote our university so the cooperation can be realized. And then we need also, as I mentioned, information exchange, review and value over. We need to really clear and really understand what program we need to offer to our partner universities. And then we need to prepare every possibility that might rise during the discussion. And the negotiation will take place. And then if negotiation is completed and agreed, then agreement is achieved. So this is some of the process in which agreement can be obtained through a good negotiation process. We sometimes forget that there are a certain so-called philosophy in which constructive negotiation can be established between two universities. As long as my understanding and my principle, then the first basic element of negotiation is the equality. Once we want to have partnership with another university, then we need to understand that we are equal. We have a certain advantage for having this partnership, and in other side, our partner university also have the same one. And then equality will bring mutual respect. And then we need to have interest to the subject to be discussed. And then the person who represent the university need to have legitimacy, because without that, I think a decision cannot be made through negotiation. So that's why usually the officer of the international officer will, accompany, for example, the academic director, the vice director for academic affairs in, maintaining negotiation with partner university when we want to have academic collaborative program, for example. And then we need to understand the best option to gain. Each university, for sure, they will have interest in having a partnership to their counterpart university. But before negotiation is taken, then we need to understand what is the best option we need to gain from or through the negotiation. So this to provide alternatives when the best option we want is not achieved. So at least we want to, if we cannot achieve the best one, then we need to have other alternative in which the possibilities can be obtained, the agreement can be obtained. That's why we need to prepare a second option or second offer if the main offer is not agreed upon. And then after having the agreement, then we need to put commitment on the program execution, and then we need to communicate the progress, the evaluation of the program. I think these are the basic elements for constructive negotiation, especially we need in university. I took this slide from one reference mentioning 5 philosophy of negotiation, but I don't want to put university negotiation at the same position as other institutions. For example, the industry negotiation, for so on. Because, as I mentioned before, that university is non-profit organization. So, to my understanding, we need to put efforts in achieving compromise and collaborate negotiation. What is the compromise in partnership? As you can see in this slide, then in terms of compromise negotiation, then our university win and our partner also win. And then if we lose some, then our partner also lose some. I think in that sense, then compromise, negotiation can be obtained. Or if we could have a good negotiation, then the philosophy of collaborate partnership can be obtained. We win, and our partner university also win, even though this is rather difficult to be obtained. So the utmost objective of university negotiations, to my understanding, is we will try to have the position that each university win contents of negotiation. But if it's not achieved, then at least one university wins some, but also lose in some perspective, so as the counterpart university. So they will lose some, but they also win some. So in that sense, then, take and give situation can be established, and each university can obtain their original idea to have to build partnership. The principle of equal between institution is true. So we have a look at the first slide. That I took this photo from internet. Negotiation between some countries involving quite many people. So if we can see, these two tables consist of equal people. In the second figure, we can see that Indonesian President Jokowi have a negotiation with the Japanese Prime Minister, Mr. Shinzo, Excellency Mr. Shinzo Abe. So they stand up in the same level, the same volume, with background of the flag of each country, with very same situation. This is a representation of equal position between each country, even though we understand that Japan is very strong economic countries compared to Indonesia. But through negotiation, the principle of equality is a must. So as you see, the other figures, very old picture, the signing ceremony between President United States, Mr. Ronald Reagan, and then I couldn't remember the name of the president of Uni Soviet, Mr. Gorbachev. If not Gorbachev, I couldn't remember the name. So they have the same position, very simple, very equal. So this is the basic philosophy of the negotiation. the equality between parties that involved in the negotiation. Through the negotiation, we need to understand that aware of some problem that might arise due to misunderstanding the philosophy of the negotiation itself. For example, in some negotiation can get failed because the situation so-called superior complex. I mean, one university consider that their position is superior compared to other university. So if we come to negotiation with that situation, then I believe the negotiation will not run as expected. And then the second we need to aware of is eagerness to compete. Sometimes we always want to win the negotiation. So the win-win situation is not existed, or I win some, lose some, you win some and you lose some as well. The situation will not establish because each party want to have to compete each other. This will ruin the partnership because it will end up with the unexpected negotiation result. And then we forget to with the real interest in a negotiation and try to win at all costs. This also, the same idea. We do everything to win the negotiation. It's not a good principle in doing negotiation, especially for us in the university. And then fail to adapt when necessary, consider done when agreement is achieved. This is the last one is the thing that we sometimes face it. We consider the negotiator or the university consider everything is done, everything is completely when agreement is achieved. And then they forget how to implement the agreement. So that is one situation that we need to face. At least a successful negotiator will manage three aspects. The first one is issues. The second one is the relationship. And the third one is process. I don't want to take too many times for you. I will share my slide. This slide shows some benefit of making good preparation before we negotiate with other parties, including the risk that we need to receive or to face if we don't have a good preparation before negotiation. Some risks regarding the issues at stake, and then regarding the negotiating process, the also brought down here, and then allow you to review whether you agree with the idea. If you agree, I think it is going to be good if you prepare, make a good preparation before negotiation is taking place. And then again, negotiation is not one-man show. Negotiation is the event where two institutions sit at the same table, exchanges idea, exchanges interest, and trying their best to find agreement. In that sense, you cannot bring your own idea. You must bring the organization interest and idea. In that sense, you need to have internal discussion before meeting your partner universities. Otherwise, if agreement is achieved, then there is a possibility of your institution not happy with the result of negotiation. At least you must remember that the thing you need to bring on the table is the university interest, not your personal interest. And then in some cases, we need also to evaluate the negotiations. I took this material from one articles in internet mentioning a very simple checklist how we could evaluate the performance of the negotiation through the preparation and then the process, the issue we need to take during the negotiation. This is a good, lesson if we want to improve the capability of, performing negotiation from time to time. At least one agreement is achieved, then evaluation must take place. Not evaluation on the program itself, but also evaluation on the negotiation process. So please feel free to use this checklist to evaluate the process of negotiation itself. Finally, this is the last slide. I think I propose to you for the academic, staff, and then from the management, from the international officers. If you are not confident with the negotiation process and try to prepare everything beautifully before having negotiation, I think this negotiation model canvas is one of the solutions. This format is very generic. You need to fill in the format and answering every aspect of the negotiation we need to bring into the negotiation with our counterpart. We need to identify our initial position, our counterpart position, our interests, their interests, and then our bargaining chips. If the main objective is not achieved, then we need to, provide some alternatives, as the alternative solution or alternative agreement that we want to have with the partner university. And then we need also write down our best workaway alternatives, as I mentioned to you. So we also can predict what is our counterpart best workaway alternative. So through this simple format, I think our understanding on the context that we are going to negotiate with partner university will be very much clear. This slide also show the one simulation in which two universities having different QS ranks try to negotiate each other to have academic collaborative program. The university having lower QS program want to have, joint degree program with university or partners having much higher QS ranks, for example. So these tools will, provide us with better understanding and preparation before negotiation is held. So as to make we could attain our interests that we want to bring in the negotiation. For sure, it is very hard to have all of our interests can be fulfilled through negotiation, but at least, as you can see here, one university need to have at least 15 students enroll into the joint degree by 1 year ahead. But the counterpart university, no, I don't want to have next year because we need to have agreement from the Senate board. The most possible one is another 2 years from now. And then your university want to have tuition fee waived, but your partner university want to have, tuition fee as usual. So in that sense, you will propose 15 students instead of 30 students, and then your counterpart university finally will agree to have, okay, if you want to have 50% tuition fee, then you need to increase the number of students. Instead of 15 students, then counterpart university will propose 20 students. And then finally, the agreement is 50% tuition fee during studying at counterpart university for Faculty of Science student, at least 30 students to be enrolled 2 years ahead to accommodate the time of counterpart university in getting permit from academic board. I think this situation will happen if we do negotiation, for example, in the academic collaborative program. So every possibility need to be identified before we have the negotiation. And finally, all interests of each university can be fulfilled through constructive negotiation. I think I don't want to take more time. Some hints for you. You can read through this slide. As I mentioned, you need to prepare a few canvases in advance. And then one thing, articulating the opposite party's viewpoint, then showing how it relates to common goals, demonstrate that you hear the value. And this is, you need to be trained to, sometimes people, exchanging idea without, try to greet each other. That's also one of the situation, the common situation we have in the negotiation. So I think a good negotiator will try to greet each other and then try to respond by repeat the opposite party's viewpoint, because that shows your respect to the opposite, your counterpart viewpoint. And some hints can be read through my slides. Some are quite important and practical. I think that is my presentation, Pak Irfan. So my concluding remarks, negotiations is all aspects about negotiation are basically, building bricks, putting bricks together to build the, putting blocks together to build the bridge so each university can cooperate each other. To complete my presentation, allow me to show you 2 minutes video, very interesting about negotiation. Is this a negotiation? Please watch the, I think I haven't checked the, activate the share sound, okay? Only 2 minutes, Pak Irfan. Wait a minute.
Okay. Thank you.
Very short movie.
Freddie. Freddie Bender, this is Rex Roth, and you are the lovely Marilyn.
Please, Miss Rexroth. And you must be Mr. Massey.
Please, Miles. Sit down. Oh, Freddie, I was sorry to hear about the Goldberger Award. Pastry?
We did very well. We did very well.
Not to worry, Mrs. Rexroth. You're ably represented. I'm sure Freddie's just too modest to tell you he used to clerk for Clarence Thomas. Pastry? Going begging.
Don't try to bait me, Miles. Now, if you have a proposal to make, let's hear it.
Well, at this point, my client is still prepared to consider reconciliation.
My client's ruled that out.
My client is prepared to entertain an amicable dissolution of the marriage without prejudice.
That's a fart in a stiff wind.
My client proposes a 30-day cooling-off period.
My client feels sufficiently dispassionate.
My client asks that you not initiate proceedings pending his setting certain affairs in order.
Well, what's so goddamn funny?
Please, let me handle this. All right. So much for the icebreakers. What are you after, Freddie?
My client is prepared to settle for 50% of the marital assets.
Why only 50, Freddie? Why not 100? While we're dreaming, why not 150? Are you familiar with Kirshner?
Kirshner does not apply.
Bring this to trial. We'll see if Kirshner applies.
What's Kirshner?
Please, let me handle this.
Kirshner was in Kentucky.
Kirshner was in Kentucky?
Kirshner was in Kentucky.
All right, Freddie, forget Kirshner. What's your bottom line?
Primary residence, 30% of remaining assets.
What are you, nuts? Have you forgotten Kirshner? Freddie, it's a negotiation.
See you at the preliminary.
Freddie, we're all friends here. It's a negotiation. Hey, Freddie, fine. We'll eat the pastry.
Okay. I don't know whether those movies relate to the thing that we discussed. Some, idea about negotiation can be solved from those movie. Finally, I don't know, Josh Clooney, if I'm not mistaken, the actor of that movie, say it is negotiation. It is negotiation, but everything's get ruined because of the way he managed the negotiation. Thank you very much, anyway.
Thank you, Professor Buda. Thank you very much for the excellent presentation on negotiation. Now, on negotiation for partnership. So let's give an applause, everyone. I hope everyone enjoyed the talk and also the short clip at the back. And we could all learn from this. So, Professor, I'm touched by your first slide. You mentioned that sharing should be the reason for partnership. And this is a very positive view, and it does make a lot of sense. And then you propose the use of Canvas, which is quite technical, but really helpful. So to all participants, you can get the slides from the Google Drive from the committee. And now we can accept questions. Because of the time, we can only accept 1 or 2. So please, if you have any questions, please just raise your hand and you can just ask your question. Anyone? You can also write down your question in the Zoom chat box, if you prefer. Prof. Smith, you're asking a question.
Yeah, I would like to have a question to ask. I think there was a very insightful presentation. I think it was very informative. Thank you, Prof. Ketut. I believe in the same thing. I think dialogue, communication, and negotiation is very important, particularly in building relationships. I think that I just have a question like, do you think that a university or do your institution have a formal training in terms of enhancing communication and negotiations, especially for our staff that is involved in responsibilities of negotiating and communication?
Okay. Professor Ketut.
Can I answer, Pak Smith? Good afternoon. Very happy to have question from you. Your question is not difficult, but I must honest to say that I don't think that quite many universities consider, training in, performing negotiation is good to their staff. Basically, it's very much important because I personally face quite many situations in which each university have different idea on the things that we want to cooperate. For example, joint research with Fraunhofer Institute in Germany, we have many times discussion on the establishing the joint research and then joint pilot plan in ITS with very much different interests. So I agree with you. In a certain extent, we need to provide academic staff, international officers with the training on how they can, manage negotiation effectively. Honestly speaking, that we are a bit lucky as academic institution because the situation is rather very much different compared to negotiation in industry, negotiations in trade, for example. It's really hard for, I'm sure, but in negotiation with the university rather solved because we have, the same platform, we have the same objective to, provide the best graduate to the society, and then we are not-profit organization. So that platform, provide us with, not really difficult situation, to my understanding. But even though we actually need to have, provide our staff with the training in negotiation, I think this is a very good. I don't know whether in UTM you perform such kind of program, but as long as I understand it, we don't have yet such kind of program to our staff. Correct me, Bu Maria, if I'm wrong. Thank you very much, Pak Smith.
Thank you.
Thank you, Prof. Smith. And
how about in UTM, Pak? How about in UTM? Do you have such kind of program?
We do not have a formal training in negotiation, but we do have some sort of training in communication, in protocol. But I think in terms specifically on negotiation, I don't think we have that kind of training. I think we should have, especially at the international office, because we're dealing with different countries, different culture, different mode of thinking. So I think some sort of training will become relevant and important.
Pak Smith, let me continue. What is your opinion if ATU initiate that training?
Yeah, I see Prof. Maria is very raising her hands. Yeah, I think because especially at the international office, it's a very important skill to have. I mean, if you are tasked with this kind of responsibility, you should have some sort of training, especially in communication, dialogue, and also negotiation.
Yeah, thank you very much. And I believe all participants also agree because that's important to us. Yeah.
Ibu Maria, I think Dr. Maria would like to add.
Just a short comment. Professor Ketut Buda, thank you so much. I'm very happy listening to your presentation, very interesting. And Professor Ismit, I'm very happy. Professor Ketut Buda is my boss when he became the vice rector, directing all the orchestra of internationalization at ITS. And we actually have like you, like public speaking, protocol, communication skill, but not specifically in negotiation. However, I agree that we have to do it. And like Professor Ketut Buda suggested, I completely agree because we have very click mind. So having ATU-Net running, giving case study, and something like that will be very, very beneficial for all of us. So agree. So we should continue the International Staff Week with 2022 planning. Thank you.
Yeah, that's right. It's true. Thank you.
Okay, thank you, Dr. Maria, for the last comment. And we had a really fruitful discussion in this Q&A session. Because of the time, we have to end this session now. I think that's all from myself as moderator of this keynote speech. Thank you again, Professor Ketut Buda, for the excellent presentation. Let's give another applause, please, everyone. Okay, now let's move on to the next session, and I'll give the stage back to the MC, Ms. Yani. Please, the stage is yours again.
Thank you very much, Pak Irfan. Like Buda, insightful. Let's give a warm applause for our speaker and moderator today for leading this session amazingly as well by turning on the reaction buttons in your screen. You can use love, you can use applause. Okay, so to honor the valuable time and sharing given to us, Prof. Ketut Buda Artana, we would like to present a certificate to you. Special to Prof. Ketut Buda Artana.
Oh, thank you.
Thank you very much, Prof.
Thank you very much anyway, Bu Yani. Stay healthy, yeah.
Yes, thank you, Prof. You too. Ladies and gentlemen, thus we could end the first sessions as the keynote speaker live from YouTube and Facebook. And we will continue the next sessions by Zoom platform only. Ladies and gentlemen, we will have a 5-minute break for you to grab a coffee and or have a short stretching. If that's okay, 5 minutes or 3 minutes, Pak Irfan? 5 is okay.
Five is okay, yeah.
Got it, thank you. So thank you so much and see you soon.
Thank you, Bu Yani. Allow me to leave the room. Bye.
Thank you.